Cancer Classic, number 4 Pittsburgh taking on Rhode Island. Jamie Dixon leading the way. Pitt's won 47 straight non-conference home games. 5 seconds left in the first half. Ashton Gibbs the steal. Lamar Patterson the jam as time expires. Second half, Pitt up 1. Off the steal, Gibbs leaves it for Brad Wanamaker. Wanamaker, a game-high 24 points, also had 8 assists. Under 2 minutes to go. Pitt's up 3. Gibbs knocks down the long jumper. Pitt shot 53% from 2, just 19% from 3. Delroy James cuts the lead to 2. 20 seconds left. Pitt's going to shut the door. James looking to cut the lead in half. Blocked by Gilbert Brown. Pittsburgh 76-1 non-conference at Peterson Event Center.
Give me a T for Texas. Longhorns ranked 25th, opening against Navy. That's Jordan Hamilton. This is Gary Johnson. You got 4 new starters for Texas. Johnson wide open underneath, and that's high percentage. Still in the first, Tristan Thompson underneath. And this, too, is very high percentage. The freshman had 12. His sum is good. More is better. Texas up 9. They had a 50-30 advantage on the boards. Jacobin Brown finds Thompson underneath, draws the foul. Texas, though, struggled from the free throw line. That's been a recurring theme. 19 of 34. Hamilton, alley-oop from Brown. Just 4 of 17 from 3, the Longhorns. There's one of the 4. Hamilton, double-double, 26 points, 10 rebounds. Texas, Coach Barnes, 83-52.
As you know, the College Game Day guys are at Ohio State. They're there for football on Saturday. Maybe they went to the basketball game Friday night with NCA&T visiting Columbus. Thad Matta's Buckeyes made the Sweet 16 last year. But no Evan Turner this time around, but they do have Jared Sullinger. Watch Sullinger under the rim, draws 3 defenders, leaving Deshaun Thomas open for the lay-in. Second half now, 60-25 to score. Sullinger, offensive board in the slam. Put him up 62-25, up 79-37. Dallas Lauderdale, the massive block. We go the other way. Transition game, it's Aaron Kraft. The lead is 44. Sullinger's still out there, grabs another offensive rebound, puts it up again, gets it to go, glass and the foul. And then just piling on here, William Buford finds Sullinger. Sullinger had 19 points and 14 rebounds. The first Ohio State freshman since Herb Williams in 1977 to have a double-double in his debut. Tough teams are all playing at home, right? Not Georgetown. Number 121 Georgetown on the road at Old Dominion. Would it make a difference? Actually, the Hoyas were down 6 at halftime. Here down 1 if the shot clock runs down. Chris Wright, quick turn and catch there. Next Hoya possession, tied at 51. Here's Wright again for 3. Put the Hoyas up by 3. And then under 1 minute left, Hoyas up 1. Jason Clark hits. Hoyas struggled shooting as a team shot just 36% from the field, 23.5% from beyond the arc. But Clark rescues things.
But the first test came in Louisville Tuesday night as the Cardinals broke in their new arena, the KFC Yum Center. Keep an eye on Mike Mara. Mara comes from behind, gets a block when Shelvin Mack at one end, and then hustling back after the block, Mara spots up and knocks down the 3. He had 11 points. Mack had 25 to tie a career high. Hayward now running with the Jazz, so Mack is the man for Butler. Later in the half, Louisville up by 10. Terrence Jennings for the Jam. He had 12. One of 5 Cardinals in double figures. Preston Knowles also in that number. He gets 3 of them there. He had 12. Louisville up 13. Late first half, they're up 16. The Butler inbounds pass stolen by Knowles. Stephen Van Treese will benefit from his generosity, and Louisville up 39-21. Second half, it's an 18-point lead. Knowles to Jennings, big finish. 20-point lead for Rick Pitino's crew. Later in the second half, Raheem Buckles, he had 17 points, 11 boards. Louisville rolls 88-73. Brad Stevens says it's not rocket science. We got outplayed. Meanwhile, last year's champs played their second game of the season, this one against Miami of Ohio. Lowest scoring team in Division I last year. Now, Kyle Singler not only does it on the court, he also does it on YouTube and on the internet. Look at the trick shots.
No, come on.
Yeah, on the exercise bike. How about this? From the rafters at Cameron, and he got it to go.
Come on.
Of course, you can't do anything like that in a game. But you can't do this in a game. Tries to steal the ball. And there he goes into the crowd. But it was a supportive crowd, and he was okay. Next possession for Duke. Singler, pump fake, hits a jumper. Not as difficult as the rafters, but there was a defender all in his grill. And then 3 defenders crowd him, but he knocks that down. Part of a 22-5 run for Duke. And then later they made a 15-2 run. Off the Miami miss, Singler runs up the floor. Nolan Smith gets it back to him. He had 8 points, 5 boards. Duke up 21 at the half. And then Kyrie Irving, the talented freshman, the Seth Curry, the transfer from Liberty. That's Steph Curry's brother. He had 17, 3 for 4 from 3. And Del Curry is like, that's also my boy. Duke goes on to win 79-45. Coach K just 3 wins shy of 800.
For 10 Florida at home against number 5 Ohio State, and Jared Sullinger, not a welcome guest. Strong first half, the touch hook here. Sullinger, the number 2 high school recruit in ESPNU's 100 underneath. And then you got to finish strong, young man. He does. Sullinger, 10 points, 5 rebounds in the first half, and he was just getting started. Second half now. Ohio State down by 3. Sullinger back to work. Let's go left-handed with that hook, and it's now a 1-point contest. Later, Sullinger posting up, drop step spin, and Ohio State up by 1. Sullinger, shot block, not giving up. Ohio State now up by 9. Now, after the game, Billy Donovan said the Buckeyes are a complete team, maybe better than last year with Evan Turner, and here's why, because they got the inside and the outside. David Lighty, wide open. Lighty, 26 points in the game. Ohio State cruising along and opening things up in this second half. John Diebler to Sullinger. Sullinger, 26 points, 10 rebounds. Ohio State wins big, 93-75. For more on Sullinger's big night. Just the second player in the last 15 seasons to have a 20-10 game in a road win against a top 10 opponent. The other one, you just saw him. That's Kyle Singler back in the 08-09 season for Duke against number 9 Purdue.
Started the season, number 2 in the country, taking on South Carolina in East Lansing. Now you see, Delvin Rowe played the role of Charles the Wrestler in a Shakespeare play, As You Like It, on campus. And the performance started about 2.5 hours before the game. Little tall for the part, but okay, late 10 p.m. tip-off, so he was able to get to the game in time, too, and he did some things. Michigan State up 42-25 at the half. Then Rowe on the fast break, bucket and the foul. That's as the fans like it there in East Lansing. 15 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds for Rowe, and then working the give and go with Draymond Green. Green, 18 points and 12 rebounds. Off the Austin Thornton missed 3. Darrell Summers grabs the monster board, puts it back in. Seems like Darrell Summers has been at Michigan State for a long time, too.
Correct.
He had 22 points. Spartans roll by 9.
Speaking of being there forever, we got a couple here. Now, number 3, Kansas State. All right, we see you. Taking on number 24, Virginia Tech. First meeting between the schools. Jacob Pullen's been there for 15 years. Malcolm Delaney's been there for 16 years at Tech. Frank Martin, livid. Bobby Knight finding out some keys to the second half for K-State.
Well, I think that patience is going to be important here. This game going to still be very quick. It's going to be a very tough physical game, but a lot of work, patience to get good shots, not make turnovers or offensive fouls.
So Pullen struggled in the first half. Well, how about K-State listening to Coach Knight? Rodney Magruder taking his time, being patient, finding Martavius Irving. Drops the 3, part of a 28-9 run for the Wildcats. Pullen from the top up to Jamar Samuels. Big flush. Pullen, Magruder, and Samuels all scored 13 points. Delaney with 22 in a losing effort. K-State 73.
Detroit at the Carrier Dome. Orange, they don't really like to leave the state before conference games begin. And Jim Boeheim not pleased with his team's progress. After they beat Canisius on Sunday, he said, right now, we're the most overrated team I've ever had. I'm a little shocked that everybody's bought into this whole thing. We got a long ways to go. We're not a good basketball team. Well, let's check it out. Scoop Jardine. Oh, that's a brick. And then Brandon Trish on the break. That's broken. And then Mookie Jones. Mookie. No. Orange shot 7 for 32 from the floor in the first half, just 22%. Syracuse down 3 at the break to Detroit. Mercy. LaMarcus Lowe misses a contested shot. Rick Jackson with a board. And then Jardine, career high 27, also threw in 10 boards. And then Jardine to Jackson, and that's more like it. Syracuse wins it by 11. Jackson, 10 points and 22 boards. But San Diego State taking on number 12, Gonzaga. Second half, Gonzaga down 5. Stephen Gray. However you get it in, just get it in. It's a 3-point game now. Later in the second half, Aztecs up 4. Kawhi Leonard on the drive. Leaves it for Billy White. Strong move inside. White had 30 points and 9 rebounds. Aztecs up 6. Under a minute left. They're up 3. Malcolm Thomas hits the bucket, but he's called for the charge. Mike Hart stepping in there to keep it a 3-point game. Ensuing possession. Gray. He had 35 points. Bulldogs down just 1. Aztecs hit 2 free throws, so Gonzaga's down 3. Gray has it stripped, but he's able to track it down, goes to Chase Tapley. He would go to the free throw line. Clank, front end of a 1-and-1. Gonzaga with the rebound. Gray. No, sir. Big win for San Diego State, 79-76. Sports Classic, number 4 Pittsburgh taking on Maryland in New York. Second half, Pittsburgh up 4. Brad Wanamaker connects with the freshman Talib Zana. We need Bob Knight to break it down for us.
What happened here was the ball screen was used twice, and Maryland got lost in the shuffle. The ball screen wide open right here with Zana for the shot, and Pittsburgh was playing with an open man, and it happened to be the guy that knocked it down.
Later in the second half, Pittsburgh up 5. Gilbert Brown from the three-point line gets his own rebound. And then the putback. But he got a tech. His athleticism wowed the fans. The officials not so happy with his sportsmanship. Brown, 11 points and 7 rebounds. And there's Zana again for the putback. Played his high school ball in Forestville, Maryland. Had 14 points, 12 rebounds, and Pittsburgh wins to get to the title game.
The other semifinal matchup, Rick Barnes and Texas taking on Illinois. 30 seconds left to play in the game. We're tied at 73. Corey Joseph, pull-up Jay. Texas first field goal in over 7 minutes. They're up by the deuce. Jeremy Richmond driving. Nice little fake there, going off glass. We're tied at 75. We go to overtime in OT. Sophomore Jordan Hamilton, he had 25 points. He has led the Longhorns in scoring in the first 3 games this year. And freshman Tristan Thompson, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 6 blocks. Texas winning this one by 6 in overtime. They missed 19 free throws, but Rick Barnes now 1 win away from Coaches versus Cancer Classic at the Guard. Number 4 Pitt facing number 22 Texas. Longhorns down 4, 2.5 minutes left. Jordan Hamilton, the bucket and 1. Hamilton, he would make the free throw. 1-point game. 1:30 left. Ashton Gibbs, 19 points in the second half. Stop, pop, and drop. Finish with 24. Pitt up by 4. Under 40 ticks left. Tristan Thompson poking the ball away. Jacobin Brown, the outlet, and Thompson, easy finish. Texas within 2 after 2 free throws by Pitt. 4-point game. Thompson missing. Hamilton gets the third chance. Yes! He finished with a career-high 28 points. Texas once again down 2. Texas down 2. Trevon Woodall missing the front end of a 1-and-1. So Texas still has a shot. Corey Joseph, oh, that's not going to get it done. Pitt gets the rebound, and they seal it, winning 66. Make that 6-8. North Carolina facing Minnesota. Winner goes to the title game. Preseason All-American freshman Harrison Barnes. Played more like a freshman, less like the All-American hype. 0 for 5 in the first half. Let's not forget, he's a young buck. Under 10 seconds to go in the first half now. We're tied at 24. Blake Hoffarber with the 3. He had 20 points. Carolina down 3. Roy Williams not happy with his team's effort.
We stunk it up. Every time there was any kind of battle whatsoever, we ran back to the bathroom. It was an awful exhibition.
Second half. Heels down by 6. Barnes, pull up Jay. No. Once again, a very tough night for the freshmen. 7 minutes to go. Minnesota up by 6. Hoffarber with the miss, but Rodney Williams is there. Minnesota now up by 8. Just over a minute to play. Carolina down 9. Barnes 0 for 12 on the night. He had 6 points. North Carolina losing 72-67. Minnesota going to the title game.
Hofstra taking on Western Kentucky. Here's the situation. 40 seconds to go in the second half. Western Kentucky down 4. They whip it around. Caden Dickerson. That'll work. They're down just 1 now. Ensuing possession for Hofstra. Oh, Dwan McMillan's pass stolen by Brandon Peters. And now Western Kentucky is up 1. 3 seconds left in the game. Hofstra's got a chance. Shemaiah McClendon. He's got a look. No, sir. And Western Kentucky with a furious rally. They win it 62-60.